Welcome to another exciting installment of BizEdge Q&A, Masterclasses in Entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Anna. Today, we're thrilled to host Leslie Randolph, the founder of Leslie Randolph Coaching, where she specializes in building self-confidence in teenage girls and in all of us who still harbor our inner teens. Leslie and I know each other from past jobs in advertising, and it's so wonderful to reconnect. Today, Leslie will share her journey as an accidental entrepreneur and how it shaped her unique insights into the transformative power of self-confidence in business. Welcome, Leslie.
Anna, thank you so much for having me today. And it's just very mutual to be reconnected. I'm thrilled to be back in a room with you.
Yay, I love this. Wonderful. So let's start off with the first question. I want to hear all about your incredible journey, share some of the highlights, and I'm sure there's so much that we could learn from. So take it away.
Yeah, so you hit it on the head when you said I was an accidental entrepreneur. I mean, that is my entrepreneurial journey. I had no grand aspirations to be a business owner. In fact, in our PR and marketing days where we first knew each other, there'd be many times that my now husband would say, you should go and do this. You're so good at it. Do it on your own. I was like, oh no, I don't want to be a business owner. But then, our life's journeys take us where we're meant to be. And when I made the decision to become a coach, it was really fueled by my desire to help people, whether it was a room full of women that I get to host workshops for or speaking engagements or one-on-one in coaching. And I got my certification. I was a coach. And then I think like a week later, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a business owner. It truly, it was no chicken and egg. I didn't realize that until after the fact. But, nearly 3 years in, here I am. I have had the privilege of supporting, as you said, many teens, many women, humans at all ages and stages. And I'm exactly where I'm meant to be.
Oh, I love that. I love it for you too. Like you have just the right energy and like you're so warm. I just love this.
Well, I think that happens when you find truly what you were like put on this planet to do. And I found mine. And so it comes from within.
I can totally tell. All right. Are you ready to get started?
I'm ready.
All right. So we're on to question 2 now. So every entrepreneur faces challenges. What's one of the most memorable hurdles you've encountered and how did you conquer it?
Yeah, so I'm going to speak to this on kind of a bigger level because I think there are 2 types of challenges. There are the internal challenges we're going to face and the external challenges we're going to face. Those internal challenges are, the self-doubt. When you're starting something new, as most entrepreneurs are, you have no evidence that it's all going to work out. I had a lot of evidence in PR and marketing that I was going to be okay. I got hired for the job. I had clients that adored me. I had media that, trusted me and respected me. Mm-hmm. When I started here, I had none of that. And that is where, self-confidence becomes so critical of like believing in you. That said, there are a lot of external challenges that are going to come. And that might be external voices, people telling you like, no, this is the way that you're supposed to do it. And on this journey, I've had people telling me like, you're doing it wrong, or I don't know if you're even meant to be an entrepreneur. And so I think it's so important that your internal voice is one that like cheers you on and believes in you, because there's going to be a lot of external naysayers and a lot of sound that says like, you don't know what you're doing. You're not cut out for this. You're out of your league. And so to build up that internal knowing and to be able to tune out some of the rest, because there's going to be a lot of it.
Yeah, that's so well said. Thank you for touching on that.
Yeah.
All right. Question 3. Entrepreneurs make countless decisions. Can you recall one pivotal decision that significantly shaped your business journey?
Yeah. So when I launched, after that, oh my, I'm a business owner moment, I was a general life coach. I was coaching anyone at any age, any stage, whatever goal they were going after. If they just wanted to feel better, I was like, I'm your gal. I can help you accomplish whatever it is you want. And as I started this, I noticed that a universal pain point for everybody that I had the privilege to work with was this lack of self-confidence. It was showing up as anxiety. It was showing up as doubt, insecurity. And I thought, Well, rather than like dancing around the elephant that is in everybody's room, what if I focused my practice on self-confidence? Self-confidence is a skill. Self-confidence is something that you can learn. What if I really focused it on that? And even more so, a lot of who I got to coach at the beginning were our contemporaries. And it was almost this reprogramming of the brain of like, oh no, you're worthy. You're worthy of starting this business. You're worthy of the success that exists when you stick with it. I thought rather than reprogramming our minds later in life, what if I had the opportunity to get in on like the ground level? If our teenage girls knew from that formative age that they were lovable, they were worthy, and they were so capable of achieving whatever they desired. Like I get goosebumps when I think about it because our next generation needs it so much. And I want to be, the the guide or the cheerleader that gets them there so they can see the goodness that is in them.
Oh, I love this. Oh my gosh, that's so valuable. Okay, now question 4. Staying innovative in your industry is crucial. How do you keep those creative juices flowing and stay ahead of the competition?
Yeah, so I think the way I was going to answer this question is like you do the work. You walk the walk, you talk the talk. When I am coaching someone, whether it's a teen or the teen that still exists, you and me, I use tools that I'm using in my daily life. I podcast about it, so I'm constantly thinking about self-confidence and ways to cultivate it and what gets in the way of it. I am sharing these messages with my kids at home. I mean, it's not much to my kids' chagrin because they are like, Mom, don't coach me, or like, you sound like a coach right now. But I embody all of it. This is one of those beautiful professions where I don't want to turn it off at 5 o'clock. It's who I want to be in every walk of my life. And so I think that allows you to stay innovative if you are constantly practicing your craft.
Mhm.
And self-love and self-confidence is a fun craft to be practicing.
Absolutely. It definitely affects everybody. So we all need a little bit of a cheerleader within us and outside of us, around us.
Yes, yes. Even if it's like just smiling at people on the street and remembering like, oh, we're all in it together. And yeah, and then being in rooms with other entrepreneurs and cheering them on so that they can, borrow your belief in them when they're having a hard time.
So true. I love that. All right. Now, question 5. Motivation is key, especially in the tough times. What's your secret for staying inspired and motivated throughout your entrepreneurial adventure?
And I'm going to tell you something. This is my favorite question. I love it so much, and I'm going to tell you why. What I have learned is that motivation is not a naturally occurring emotion. I see this when I sit down at my desk to do something that I'm not really feeling like, and I see it with my clients who are like, yeah, I didn't do my homework because I'm just not motivated. Like, okay, if we sit and wait for motivation, it's never going to happen. But what I love about this question is that inspiration is the fuel for motivation. So the fact that you had those two words in it, I'm like, yes, your inspiration will always come from your why you do this work. Like I said, I knew my why. I did not realize my why in motion meant being an entrepreneur. We all have our whys for why we start this business, why we do the work we do. It is so important that we remind ourselves of it with frequency. So we feel that inspiration and allow that to fuel us to be motivated. I have an appointment on my calendar every Monday that says like, hey girl, don't forget, this is why you're doing it. So that I am every Monday, it is the first thing I see on my calendar of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go change the world. Like our why is our port in the storm on the days where you're like, I don't think I can do this anymore. Your why like brings you back, and it's also what keeps you going.
That's a great tip. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right. Now, question 6. Imagine giving advice to someone just starting on their entrepreneurial path. What pearls of wisdom would you share?
Too much. I have way too many. You're going to have to give me the Jeopardy wrap this up sign. Okay. My first piece of advice, start messy, Start imperfectly. Do not wait until your website, your branding, your marketing, and your message are perfect. Just go, because you learn so much after you start.
Yep.
And that allows you to consistently improve those pieces. I think our marketing is constantly in evolution, right? It's constantly changing. I've already told you, my pivot, I've had 2 brands in less than 3 years because I learned so much by starting. And of course, to start requires self-confidence. And the most important piece of self-confidence that I'll touch on is just like choosing to believe in you and what it is that you're doing. Choose to believe in your ability to figure it out. And even if that means going against what every industry expert says and every entrepreneur that came before you said, this is the roadmap, like trust yourself and then choose to talk to and treat yourself kindly on the hard days, because there are going to be hard days. I've had many hard days. I'm sure you have as well. And don't beat yourself up for them. Take care of yourself through them.
Right. Great advice. And it's good to know we're not alone. Very
Yeah.
relatable. Okay, question 7. You've probably mastered some outstanding marketing and branding techniques, considering you're an expert. Care to let us in on one of your secret strategies that really hit the mark?
Yeah. So back in my PR and marketing days, like my favorite clients, because I totally did pick favorites, were charities and nonprofits. I mean, it totally aligns with my brand,
Makes
right?
sense.
They were doing such meaningful work and creating such impact in the world. But I would often tell them it did not matter if they were doing the most important work if no one knew that they were doing it, right? Like your impact cannot be the greatest secret. So the greatest marketing tip that I would give anyone is to tell everyone and their mother what you're doing. Tell your mother too. My mom does my PR for me. I like call her up every time I'm on a podcast or I do this. And I'm like, look what I mean, tell everybody what it is you're doing. Get into rooms with other people, like physically get into the rooms with them. Tell them what you do. Tell them how you help. Tell them why you do it. And then, be willing to feel all the feelings to get on, on the stage with you, Anna, or on other podcasts, or, you don't stop talking about what it is you do. And this underscores the importance of knowing your why, because even for me, a marketing and PR, I know what I'm doing. It's very different when you're doing it for yourself, right? I can tell anyone how to go out there and tell. It's different when it's you on the reel or, talking to the magazine. Remember, it's not about you. It is about your mission and your message. And if you don't tell people about it, you can't create that impact. So I would just say, talk to everybody. Keep talking.
Great advice. They become your ambassadors and your influencers. It's amazing.
Totally. And it gives you the opportunity to also celebrate what it is you're doing. And that's so important.
Definitely. 100%. Good. All right. Now, question 8. Personal growth and learning play a huge role in entrepreneurship. How do you stay committed to your own development?
Yeah, I am an eternal student. Like I said, I eat, sleep, breathe this, but it's not just that I walk that walk. I am constantly adding to my toolkit. I am constantly learning different methodologies through podcasts, through books. I take courses. I look for additional certifications that complement or enhance what it is I already have in my skill set. And like I said, I learn as I go. My toolkit and my techniques have expanded and evolved with each client I have the privilege to work with. The muscle I work with is mindset, and no 2 minds are alike. And while there are some patterns that we can see of like, oh, when this happens, everyone is different. And so I'm always open to staying curious about what I don't know, and learning as I go.
That you touch on something super important, and that's to be a lifelong learner. Like I read everything that crosses my path. I always have. I'm super interested in like health and wellness. So I've been on that kick since I was like 18, so forever. And then of course, anything business or social media. It's just, there's so much information out there. Like, thank God for the internet.
And for podcasts as we drive, and yeah, get it in your ears, getting it in your eyes all the
Yeah.
time.
And then surrounding ourselves with great people, like people who are willing to, like be our champions and, help us all lift each other up. That's so important. Surround ourselves with wonderful people.
100%.
All right. Now, question 9. Successful entrepreneurs often share common traits. In your opinion, what are some essential qualities for anyone looking to thrive in business?
I mean, I'm going to say self-confidence, right? But I'm going to say it. And I'm going to break down self-confidence a little bit, because self-confidence is like this awesome alchemy of self-love. Like I said, talking to and treating yourself well along the way on that entrepreneurial journey, to cheer yourself on versus, beat yourself down. That self-love piece means like not always grinding too. It's saying like, I'm going to take care of you because we're in this for the long haul, not, this sprint of like, go, go, go. Self-confidence includes self-trust. That shows up for like, if you said you were going to do something on your calendar and it's just for you, you do it. You like honor your word to you versus saying like, it doesn't matter. Like, no, self-trust says, I said I was going to do this and I'm going to do it. And it also means that when you are in that, if you've been grinding and you're, approaching burnout, self-trust is like, hey, I feel like I need a break, and then go and taking that break, like taking care of you. And then self-trust always is trusting your instincts more than the gurus. Always be a learner, always listen to the experts, like trust you. You're going to figure this out. And then belief in self, like believing in you and your ability to get where it is that you're meant to go. Even if you don't, in no words did I ever say like, exactly where you're going. No, you might not. When I launched, I didn't know I was going to be a self-confidence coach for teenage girls, but I kept trusting myself to figure it out. And here I am. I believed in myself, and here I am. So self-love, self-trust, belief in self, that is self-confidence. And self-confidence also means that you are willing to feel those other feelings. Like you need to be willing to fail a lot. You need to be willing to be rejected, to cold call people and to make your offers and them say no. That's where, again, self-love and self-trust come in to like take care of you on the other side of it. So self-confidence, I guess I would also say like, don't wait to start until you feel self-confident. Just be willing to feel every emotion, but choose to love, trust, and believe in you.
Right. That's so inspiring. I really am grateful that you shared all of that.
Yes.
And it's very relatable. Once again, we've all gone through that. But
Oh my gosh.
absolutely, the importance of self-confidence and trusting ourselves is just valuable. All right, question 10. So we're building an incredible network of entrepreneurs here. Who do you think has an amazing story or unique insights that would be perfect for a future BizEdge Q&A interview?
So I'm very biased with this answer. I have like a laundry list of people I want to shout out here right now. And I might just, if I have seconds left, you tell me. I want to tell a story, and I am the board member of a nonprofit called Gratitude Generation.
Oh, wow.
But it was founded by 5 local moms out here on the North Shore of Chicago that wanted to instill gratitude in their children. It came from a Facebook post of, how can I teach my daughter gratitude? And now we are 6 years in, and we are offering hands-on volunteer opportunities for young children as well as families to give back in the communities where they live. And so it's a nonprofit, but it is an entrepreneurial story. One of those founders is now like the executive director of this once, scrappy little engine that could nonprofit that is now serving. We are the middleman between families that want to give back and charities that need. It's a beautiful entrepreneurial story of like one post, one idea can literally change the world. I wanted to throw that in there because I know the founders would talk to you, the executive director. Absolutely, gratitude generation is my recommendation.
Okay, awesome. Love to chat. Well, good. Well, that concludes our interview. Do you want to add anything else before we go?
Just thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for what you're doing. Entrepreneurial journeys are no joke. And so to have ambassadors, allies like you, guides like you, I just think it's amazing what you're doing.
Oh, thank you so much. So sweet. All right. Well, I love what you're doing. It's a perfect match. We should definitely see how else we can collaborate, maybe a webinar or something fun.
You know,
Definitely addressing imposter syndrome and self-confidence and fun topics like that.
I'm yours any day, anytime.